deepest, darkest depths underneath Skullface Records Radio.
We're talking local indie superstars and legends.
There's no disqualifications. There's no holds barred when it comes to the conversations that you will hear on From Parts Unknown.
When wrestling was real. When wrestling was awesome.
Not this fucking bullshit that you see today.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to introduce
The tag team champions of the world, Nick Harms and Juicy Jimmy. Ooh, man. Cool, dude. The fucking intro music's awesome. Appreciate you guys being in here. I took advantage of something as I was sitting back. We just got off of a awesome taping of Joe for President, episode 2. My boy Jimmy's in the studio.
What up?
We have been conversing with each other about doing some different type of shows. I was telling him I was doing this wrestling show called From Parts Unknown. I asked him if he'd be a part, if he'd be my tag team partner on
Hell
this
yeah.
motherfucker, and he's down.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, I got a privilege of having him in here, man. And so this is my first episode with him. And as we were talking before, now we got to do a new intro.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be shooting an intro. But our first guest was right under our nose. So I wanted to take advantage of it. So I'd like to welcome Joe Lucas to the program. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great. The only reason I'm here because I got no ride home.
Oh, we have Leono, so we're taking a timeout.
Stuck inside, I'm a landmine. Been a little while, feels like a lifetime. Down and out, been drunk for 6 weeks. Gotta look within, don't wanna speak. I got soul power, soul power. I got soul power. Damn the sickness, this stupid quarantine. Wanna smash it, blow up everything. Headed for a stroke, it's a stressor. Coming out of my skin, high blood pressure. Breathe in now, give in now. Become electrified. Don't cave, man, ride the wave, man. I'm amplified. Soul power, soul power, soul power, soul power. Stuck inside, I'm a landmine. Been a little while, feels like a lifetime. Down and out, been drunk for 6 weeks. Gotta look within, don't wanna speak. Breathe in now, give in now. Become electrified. Don't cave, man, ride the wave, man. I'm amplified. Soul power, soul power, I got soul power, soul power.
From Parts Unknown, we're talking about beer.
Hell yeah.
B-E-E-R, beer.
Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! It's soft!
Beer.
I love some beer.
What about a flaming Mo?
A Flaming Mo? I wish I had. I used to have a Duff's. It wasn't a real beer, but it looked like a Duff's beer can, and it was a bank, actually.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
It was kind of cool. I liked anything that was the Duff's or in the Moe's bar or whatever when it came to The Simpsons.
I can't believe it's still on. Like,
It's unbelievable, right? I remember when it was a cartoon on that other show. on Fox when it first started.
Yeah, it was like a side
It
project.
was the Trace Elman.
Yeah,
show.
the Tracy
there you
Ullman
go,
show.
Joe.
Sure
Coming
was.
through in the clutch.
Boom.
Yeah.
Fox. When Fox first came, think of what they had.
Herman's Head.
Boom.
Bro,
It was a sitcom inside his head.
And,
Yep.
and I remember the Simpsons when it first came on.
Uh-huh.
People raised hell about how vulgar it
Ooh, yeah.
was and some of the shit that they did on there. And
Yeah.
I tell people about that, and like, and I don't know why this sticks with me, but the Roseanne Barr show that had the first lesbian kiss on it, and
Yeah.
what an uproar that was.
TV Guide was still there, though.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
TV Guide was gossip every
Yeah.
week.
And Joe's probably laughing at me and you right now, Nick, about
Oh, yeah,
like,
'cause
he's
he-
like he's
yeah.
like, this is wild TV. Well,
Uh-huh.
well, I was around when it was black and white.
Yeah. What I wonder, man, is what was a risque cartoon before Simpsons?
Risque cartoon.
Heathcliff? Scooby-Doo? I mean...
Well, if you pay close attention, you watch some of the old Merry Melodies things.
Merry Melodies, yeah.
You wouldn't believe, but it's the double entendre that they come up with about body parts and this, that, and other. So if you're not really paying attention,
Right.
you don't get it, because it's like they patterned, and like Bugs Bunny was patterned after the Marx Brothers.
Well, didn't Bugs do blackface?
Yeah, he sure
Yeah.
did.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, but him, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig would throw in some great stuff, and people didn't get it, and all of a sudden, some people would get it, and they say, "Oh, this doesn't need to be on
Yeah.
TV. Our kids are watching this," but it was too hard to stay on there.
Yeah.
But really, when I was a kid, there wasn't. I guess Scooby Doo was about risque as you got, because you
See,
knew
that's all I was thinking, because there was the
well,
in-your
because you knew
windows.
Thelma was a lesbian, and none of your parents did. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, you know,
Joe, you probably remember the premiere of Andy Griffith, don't you?
Oh, what a good show.
you know,
Joe is deeply offended that I would even
yeah, the
say
Danny
that.
Thomas show.
No shit.
There's a table sitting next to me that's getting ready to come into you. That Andy Griffith
It's not
comment,
gimmicked either, baby.
You know, come on, dude.
You were around for the premiere, weren't you?
Yeah. Listen, I'm on your show now, and one of these days I'll tell my story from my show on your show, and make you just get you again.
Oh, yeah, you reap
Look,
what
his
you
face is already turned
You
red.
reap what you sow when you're doing favors for each other on each other's shows.
Yeah.
How about your people call my people and we'll set it up?
Man, we're going to take it to a song off of that, dude. This is Negative 77. The song we're going to listen to is called Mark My Words. Skullface Records Radio.
Every
talk wrestling here.
Shoot the shit.
We can talk about anything we fucking want to
Amen.
here, according to wrestling. So let's go mainstream. As mainstream as we want to. Let's go out of the indies just for a segment. I'm gonna take it to Jimmy, and you can give whatever topic you want to, and we'll all just shoot the shit on whatever we think about it.
Okay, cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna throw something hot out there. Okay.
Gotcha.
Been kind of a hot button issue recently, last year or so. I'm going to throw it out there on the national basis. I'm not talking on the independent basis. What about intergender wrestling? Tessa Blanchard was recently the Impact Heavyweight Champion. She wrestled like Brian Cage and like all their top guys at the time. But no, like I'm going to throw this out there to you all. Thoughts, opinions, likes, dislikes?
Do you want to go first, Joe, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go first because I watched it tonight. They had the little gauntlet where I guess she won the championship, or I don't remember if she just won the title. And I'm sitting there shaking my head because it's like, this is not real. This is not real. If you really want to have an intergender match, make it real. Don't make it obvious where the woman just wins because she's a woman, which I've seen happen a lot over the years, but it wouldn't catch on because people didn't like it. But to me, I don't care for it because I think it's kind of really unbelievable. It's kind of like, let's go this way. It's like Rey Mysterio wrestling the Big Show and beating him.
Yeah,
you know Rey Mysterio is not going to beat the Big Show if he doesn't want him to.
But he can roll him up in a 6-man somehow, cool, and get a big pop. But it's not going to happen one-on-one.
Right. So that's what I feel about intergender wrestling.
All right, that's fair take.
Mine's like, what are they trying to prove?
Okay.
All right. Let's say Glow.
Okay.
Right. Let's say Glow is a regular thing that goes on here locally. And Jimmy goes in there and beats the fuck out of everybody in there and walks out with their title. Is that the same thing? What are you proving? Are you proving anything by that?
Right. Like, and the thing about it is, and like for me, this would absolutely sell me a ticket on a national basis or a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like,
as a main event?
Well, no, like, imagine, let's take WWE for example, okay? Let's take when Rousey was there, okay? Because she's been the most recent like big crossover star from MMA, okay? What would have happened during a Raw or to lead to some kind of pay-per-view match if they would have booked her against Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
To me, the intriguing part there, that match might be terrible, but
she couldn't take the suplexes.
Here's the most important thing: people would absolutely pay to see the spectacle of that.
Yeah, they'd like to see the stare down.
Well, this is years ago, and I can't. Heather Feather was her name. Big old girl. I'd say she's probably about 6'3", 6'4", good sized girl, probably pushing 315.
Yeah.
She went all over the South, challenging wrestlers. You know, I want to wrestle men. I don't want to wrestle your women's champion. I want to wrestle men. Well, she would get an odd match here and there, and elsewhere. Well, she made the mistake of rolling in. I think it was, I don't know if it's North Carolina, South Carolina, and Jimmy Golden was wrestling down there. And she got running her mouth a little too hard, and Jimmy Golden broke her jaw.
Yeah.
And that's the last you ever heard of Heather Feather. She was gone.
There you go.
I mean, he just didn't want to take it anymore. Popped her, and they wasn't even in the ring.
Damn.
He just popped her, and it broke her jaw.
My real opinion of it is it's like it's like Andre, it's like Jake the Snake. It's a gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs a belt.
Right.
If you got a chick, let her feud with somebody who's maybe down on the card.
Right.
To build her up with what she's doing. With the Rousey, say for instance this. Rousey won Money in the Bank. Mm-hmm. Let that happen.
Right.
She wins the Money in the Bank, comes in, slaps a nerve hold on the champion, wins the championship, then fights against the woman champion. Right. And then she builds the woman champion by the woman champion beating the WWE champion.
And dude, I get that. To me, the women in the WWE right now, they're better than they've ever been. And honestly,
that's not a lie.
Some of them are better than some of the males working on top.
That could be it, but if we picked the 4 best, in our opinion, of who's in WWE right now,
okay,
versus the 4 best chicks, is it a match? It's not a squash match.
I just.
What do you think?
I just really don't see it happening.
See, it's like
men are too involved.
We're different.
Too much
species
stronger,
for some
too
reason.
much bigger. And if you're wise to the wrestling business at all,
does it require too much safety on a bigger guy having to let up because they're afraid they're going to hurt somebody?
I think their biggest issue on national television is their sponsors in that situation, because that's a real, like, it's different when
not doing it makes you look like a fucking asshole.
When you're doing something in front of an armory, in front of 200-300 people, whatever, and even if it's live stream, that's cool. But when you're putting on something on USA or TNT or any of these other big channels, I'm sure a lot of their advertisers want nothing in the world to do with intergender wrestling, and I can understand fully.
I just don't, like I say, I just don't like it. I think it's an insult to male wrestlers and really most wrestling fans. Now, I know a lot of women wrestlers out there think, oh, this is great, we're getting our spot. Well, most guys are not smart enough to go and tell their wives.
If you're a woman, you do not have to beat a man to get the spot. Sherry Martel, man. Mm-hmm. She was on the TV as a main character for decades.
Yep.
And she did not have to go in there and body slam and leg drop Hulk Hogan.
Nope, not at all.
Well, Jim, one of these days, I'm going to have to tell a Sherry Martel story for you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You are, buddy.
And her birds. Woo, it was a trip, guys.
Does she have parrots or what?
No,
sassy
parakeets.
Oh,
parakeets,
gotcha.
Yeah.
There's like 50 of them in a 1-bedroom apartment, and half of them flew.
She was my favorite.
But
and I love Macho
she was
Man
so
with her.
nice,
when
man.
she came in and she went with Macho Man, especially when he was the king, it was such a fucking gimmick change.
Amen.
That
It was
went
awesome.
in smooth. It was
even
nice.
when she was with Shawn Michaels there for a little bit.
Bow. Yes.
Yep.
She made it at the beginning for him, man. I liked her with Harlem Heat.
Yeah, Sister Sherry.
Jesus.
Sherry's a cool chick, man.
Yeah.
She really was. She just had her problems. And you guys probably might not have realized that. There for it was only about 5 months, her and I forgot his name, actually had a half-hour wrestling show on Channel 36 in
awesome.
Lexington, and they just
filmed it out at what used to be Tattersalls.
Oh, no shit. I know where that's at.
Is it still around?
No.
Oh, well.
It's empty.
Yeah, but they had that
I know
little
what
show.
the name's still on there.
And it was a good little show with no commercials, but they couldn't keep sponsors. But Sherry at the time was having some problems, and I understand her and her partner weren't paying her bills. So,
Yeah.
you know, so
Nick, this guy used to run shows in Lexington, okay? And on one show one time, he had advertised Eddie Guerrero, Juventud Guerrero, Juventud, a Psychosis,
Boom.
The Wall. He had, I think Axl Rotten was on the show.
To like 2001.
Yeah,
crew.
like, bro, this show was insane.
Yeah.
And then come day of the show, and Eddie Guerrero was a quote unquote no show. Yeah, quote unquote. But the and he ran a bunch of shows like this. And these fuckers were loaded with talent. Like, loaded. And I'm talking like for $15 you could get in and see like huge.
I wonder if there's any
names.
footage or if anybody really
he
thinks.
ran that armory there, down there next to downtown.
Oh, you know where
where
he first-
ICW originally started. Yep,
Dude, even when he was on his way out, like he ran for a couple years. Dude, he ran over in Lawrenceburg one night, okay?
Gotcha.
And brought in friggin' Chris Jericho for a meet and greet. Why he was still under contract at WWE, I will never forget it.
This dude's probably got a fucking... He can talk.
You could say that.
Giggity, giggity, giggity. All right.
But yeah, man, the shows were absolute insanity as far as big who's
That sounds badass.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys a couple questions about luchadors. Around that time, as soon as we get back, I'm going to take it to a song real quick. This is the Backup Beatdowns. This song is called Matta. You guys are listening to From Parts Unknown on Skullface Records Radio.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Evan Smith, coming for the Backup Beatdowns. You're listening to Skullface Records Radio. Don't let your mom catch you.
Walk the block, around the clock, world's in shock. Then we fought back, made a pack solid. Fuck what they call us, ballers, flawless, semi-sonic. How ironic, make you sick. Try to stop us, that's your risk. You want war, I insist. I know much more, you're a friend. I need
with Joe Lucas. We appreciate you coming in and doing the show for us, man. Every time we get together, the conversation's fun. And I have a question. You brought up Juventud Guerrero.
Yes.
When I first seen Juventud Guerrero, it was one of the few times when a wrestler in that type of manner made me forget about Rey Mysterio. Mm-hmm. You guys think about who's your guys' favorite, say from, and you can go back as far as you want to. Who's your favorite luchador?
Hector Guerrero.
Hector, huh?
Hector, yeah, was great until he became the second Lasertron.
Oh, and on the 605, like when he was wrestling against like Terry Taylor.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, back in the day.
Lasertron, that's his fucking name.
Yeah.
I've asked people several times, who was the guy that came in dressed up like, you know, Captain Planet or whatever it is in his space uniform, and he threw like, he was running around, he was flipping. That's Hector. Is that the same guy who was the bird that came out of the egg?
That one I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think the gobbledygooker.
Oh, okay.
He was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know who you're talking about now. Yeah. Lord, you just blew my mind.
My bad. But Hector Guerrero, tell us some cool shit about him.
I'll tell you what, Hector, of course, he's Eddie Guerrero's brother, but their family, it was funny, their ages were real far spread. It's like myself, I've got a brother that's 26 years older than me.
Oh yeah.
So Hector was like an uncle to Eddie, you know,
and a mentor,
and
a wrestler. So it's
like Hector grew up under his uncle and his dad, wrestling Lucha Libre shows in Mexico, heavy in down in Texas, and then he would start hitting Florida, and he was just good talent, and he made a pretty good self for him in Georgia Championship Wrestling, and basically he done a little bit more NWA, and Vince stowed him away and put him under different monikers, but where he always had a hood on and things like that. So
you didn't like the Lasertron?
No.
What did he only was there for, 3 months? Like a 3-month run with that?
Yeah, I think what it really came down to, it was a short-term contract, and he had to go back to Texas, and I think his great-uncle was running shows right on the border.
Gotcha.
And he was basically like on loan.
Gotcha.
But there's a thing that all these WWE wrestlers will tell you. If you sign one contract with Vince McMahon, you're signed for life.
No shit.
You're not going to get away from him. He'll con you in somehow coming back, or say, I've got this. You got to come back and do this shit.
Yeah, that money draws them in.
Yep.
Jimmy.
I've actually got two.
Tie for first.
Yeah, well, one's a
double shot.
Let me go ahead and give you my real oddball one first, okay? This was WCW late 98, early 99-ish,
Gotcha.
that time period.
Gotcha.
Blitzkrieg.
I remember Blitzkrieg,
yeah.
Do you all know the backstory behind it?
No clue. Let us know the backstory.
The dude was like and I'm going to screw this up, but he was like some kind of big shot computer programmer. Walked in, he may have had a little training, but he could do all these insane aerial gymnastics.
Yeah.
And like somebody saw him and they're like, "Hey, we can get you on Monday Nitro," and like I guess he had done a few independent shots or what have you.
Oh yeah.
And like he got on Nitro and just did the most insane things. Like him and Juventud Guerrero had a match at one of the pay-per-views there. It was just insanity.
You know what would be cool is watching old Nitros on here, man. Jesus.
And here's somebody else, and simply for his longevity, and like his matches now are just brutal to watch. And he's got to be pushing 60, if not already there, dude. La Parka is the man, hands down. Like, and just finding out more about him and just what type of G shit he tries to pull at shows.
Yeah.
And it's just unreal.
Dude, I have WCW Revenge for Nintendo 64 sitting within kicking distance from you.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I had a buddy down that I play a lot of those games with named Phil Hickman. Shout out, he's going to be at the bachelor party Saturday. Me, Phil, it might have been Slim, and then it was a computer. We all picked Luchas.
Hell yeah.
Did Phil pick La Parka?
Yeah.
He picked La Parka.
Yeah, he was La Parka.
And won.
No doubt.
He won with La Parka, so we got to see the whole dance at the end and everything, baby. It was nice.
Because La Parka don't do jobs, man.
Nah.
Don't no jobs.
Yeah, the chairman.
That's awesome,
Yep.
dude. We're going to listen to a little bit more music real quick, man, and we'll be right back with Joe Lucas live in the studio. You're listening to From Parts Unknown. This is Swamped and Ashy. The song is called Haunted Me. Skullface Records Radio.
Don't forget to sit back, enjoy the breeze. Be good to others and live as you please. Don't forget to sit back, enjoy the breeze. Be good to others and live as you please. Honestly, honesty as always. Haunted me, 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 honestly, honesty as always. Haunted me. It is starting to get evening around here.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have to wrap up the night, man. This Saturday's been fun. I mean, this Sunday, see, the day, it's been so fun. I lost track. Actually, I've been in the studio so much this weekend. So is Slim. Yep. Slim's laid out, and I've lost my mind. That's what happens.
You might as well set up a cot over there and just hang out.
You know, my ankle monitor says I have to be in by dusk.
And
it's getting there.
And we have local awesome pizza Leono's fixing to be delivered to the cool Marie. Marie's there waiting on it, and man, I'm kind of jealous of her. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be eating a awesome dinner tonight.
She'll be eating good.
I decided I'm keeping it and fixing her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Eating it all the way
pizza
home,
now.
Nick. He eats it right next to me, too. He don't even give me a piece. He's like, I'm hammering this down. No shame in my game.
Hell no.
So we're going to be doing what we were thinking about doing, Joe, is some watch-alongs with some Arn Anderson matches. If you could see Arn Anderson in a match with anybody, or if you've seen Arn Anderson in the match with the person that you wanted to and was your best match of him, who would you want to see looking across the ring from Arn?
Ole.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Boom.
They actually had a few matches.
Yeah.
They were wrestling clinics, and then, of course, it turned into a brawl, you know.
Right.
So.
Right.
Do you think they ever had the thought of when Arn and Tully went together for Ole to come in with someone?
That's when, you know, Ole was...
He was kind of done?
Yeah, and he was trying to be the nice guy again, you know. And,
right.
And I don't think he ever really liked Tully that much from what I've read. Because you guys have to remember, we didn't have wall-to-wall footage, you know, on wrestling.
Yeah.
So we would buy wrestling magazines like crazy. Which, you know, my son Larry, he has like 850 wrestling magazine.
He does.
Categorized the inside.
LGNs.
It tells you the inside. And this is not just the bull the wrestlers telling you. They, you know, it's guys inside the business that knows what's going on.
That's incredible, dude.
Did you used to buy them for a dime, Joe?
No, I didn't buy cheap like I did your mom.
Oh,
I'm sorry, folks. I shouldn't went low like that. No, his mom wasn't cheap like it. She was only $5.
Bam! Double shot!
Just like a big block of government cheese.
And, you know, and what I'm afraid of, he's going to ask me to ride with him to some wrestling matches.
Yeah, they're going to get you back, man. We're going to listen to some
right.
tunes real quick off that, dude. This is the Psychotic Marvel. This song is called Blame. Skullface Records Radio.
The Psychotic
You have to heal your selfish pride so we can get these broken to the other side. We can't seem to get the message through to these descendants of this battered youth. I love the way you stand there with your logic and your greed to bear. Make me for the hand you're down. You can't blame me for second best. You got to count your blessings and praise your shame to be a step above the rest. Now take my hand and walk with me to the corner of your mind. You have to take this time to soak it in. Take a lesson from my kind. You have to forgive and let go. It's gonna be fellowship for your soul. Hate me for the hand you're dealt. You can't blame me for second best. You got to count your blessings and praise your shame to be a step above the rest.
Last segment of the night, man. We're wrapping this day up. Jimmy?
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier I was asking you. I know you've came to me and you want to do a sports show,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
If you come with the format and you line it up, you are more than welcome to get behind the mic and tell people how it is on your sports opinion anytime you want to.
Alrighty. I can.
But in the meantime,
What's that?
you want to come help me host From Parts Unknown?
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. So we're
Hell
going to have
yeah.
to get you on the theme. We're going to have to get
Absolutely.
a couple of things we got in. And I know the cool thing is, man, you have the inside scoop on the indies because you've lived it for almost 2 fucking decades.
Yeah, no shit.
You know? And I didn't need permission from anybody to say
Right, right.
3.
You didn't quite get me as the first one there.
Yeah, the first one was really...
Joe got me on that one.
It was so perfect, man. He wrapped that around from 15 minutes into BAM! So, Jimmy, this is the last segment. This won't be the last time we have him as a guest, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure not.
This will be probably a part 1, part 2,
I know
part
where
3.
the studio is. I'm coming back.
Absolutely. So, but you have one last chance to ask Joe any kind of wrestling question that you want. So, let it go. Yeah.
All right, Joe. Here's one for you. Put your thinking cap on. All right, Joe? And I'm sure this has been asked elsewhere before, but I just want to get your take on this, Joe. If Hulk Hogan did not leave AWA, what would have the wrestling landscape looked like years later?
Bruiser Brody had Hulk Hogan's spot in WWF. So it would have been a totally different animal from what we see it now. I don't think you would have had
the kids.
So aimed at children, because
Right.
with Bruiser Brody's or King Kong Brody, whatever you want to call him, with his intensity, it wasn't going to go there.
Right.
And I think that would have changed wrestling completely. You wouldn't have had wrestling cartoons on Saturday morning.
Right.
You wouldn't have wrestling buddies. And people could have actually gone to wrestling shows and had a lot more fun. I mean, I had fun taking my kids to wrestling shows, but I had more fun without them.
Right.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Let me ask you both this on the back end.
Uh-huh.
Kind of the same topic.
Gotcha.
What if Flair jumps 1985 when he's in his prime to WWF and Hogan's there and all those stars?
I'm going to tell you what I think. Can I tell you what I think first? He's fucking Greg the Hammer Valentine Part 2.
You think?
Yeah,
I mean, what
and
the
on
fuck?
top of
That's
that,
what he was. That's what Greg the Hammer Valentine was going into WWE, wasn't he?
yeah, basically that's it. And Flair had it set in NWA, and
was
of
the
course
man.
he was wrestling in Japan a lot, and he was on his own Learjet.
Yeah.
So the money was too good. It was too safe, and he could have stayed with them beautiful Southern belles, you know, and stayed where the weather was warm. I just never really seen that happen. Flair was, to me, almost getting ready to be a has-been when he went WWE.
Whew, coming out hot, Joe Lucas.
That's awesome, dude. You
He's
know?
still one of the
Yeah.
greatest wrestlers
I mean,
ever.
thinking of Bruiser in that way is, you know, I'm wearing a Bruiser shirt right this fucking second. I'm a huge Bruiser
Dude would
mark.
have been a huge star if he would have got on a national program.
Son.
And that was the whole idea of it.
If he would have stayed long enough. Let me throw that out there.
Well, that's the problem. He had that itchy feet, and as soon as he'd get rolling in some territory, he would just up and leave out of nowhere.
There's a story out there on one of the podcasts where he was working in Houston, and they brought him in for a big main event, and there was a discrepancy about a payoff he was supposed to have gotten. And dude just sat down in the middle of the ring and did nothing. And, and the people were like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? And like the promoter, or whoever was the booker or handler, went to the ring and like, hey, you know, like, let's get this going. And like, he's holding them up for money, and they just agreed to pay him. And
They paid him.
They had
and
the
he
match.
got up and left.
Yeah, had the match and left.
I got to tell you a really cute story about Bruiser Brody.
A cute story about Bruiser Brody.
And Dusty Rhodes. Well, Brody goes in. He's working for Watts, and Rhodes leads a loser lead town match. And Dusty Rhodes comes back as the, what is it, Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Rider.
Midnight Rider, yeah. And he has this big splotch, big fat gut, and everybody knows it's Dusty Rhodes. You know, it's like, okay. So he's feuding with Bruiser Brody.
Wow.
So
what a match.
Bruiser Brody finally loses, loser leave town to the Midnight Rider. Well, be damned, 2 weeks later, Brody comes in with his beard hanging out with a mask just like Dusty Rhodes playing the same theme music.
Yeah.
I was like, and everybody's like, what the hell? And there are 2 Midnight Riders wrestling each other.
Man, what do you guys think about Brody Lee, man? Like, when I first seen him a decade ago, I thought, boom, here's the second chance for that style to come back and really mean something. What do you think? Have you seen the way he's been used in AEW?
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Joe, I'll let you go first.
I really don't know.
With Brody Lee, I've always liked him.
Yeah.
Like with AEW, it's been very hit or miss with him.
Ain't it weird?
Very, very hit or miss.
I thought it was going to be...
I thought it was going to be a home run. Yeah.
I was just kind of... I just couldn't form an opinion on it because I guess I couldn't get into his gig for some reason. You know, it wasn't me.
I don't get it, man. Okay, second question, AEW.
Yeah.
If you could hit a home run with AEW, if you had your druthers, what would you do, you know, to swing for the fence for AEW right now?
Well, and... I don't know how much you all follow the NBA, but on the NBA, the playoffs, they advertise when the games are on TNT, which is a couple nights a week. They advertise them literally every commercial break. The announcers are talking about AEW. If the NBA and they very, very well might, if the NBA had someone like Rodman playing now, that they could bring over to cross over, who could be that kind of
that
role,
would bring enough eyes towards it.
I mean, just to be real with you,
Gotcha.
like I think that would be huge. I think if they went out and were able to get a Conor McGregor, even for one match.
Especially for AEW. AEW would be perfect.
You know, I'm thinking about it. In AEW's ratings actually higher than the NBA right now. I mean, come on, serious. Who's watching NBA now?
Is it?
So supposedly,
I don't know. I don't know the stats.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the statistics.
They lost almost 65% of their viewership.
They haven't lost me yet, Joe.
What did they lose it
You're
for?
from Cynthiana, too.
Yeah.
So that shows you.
And
one
I'm a
thing.
sports nut.
And you just followed the Bengals.
Yeah. Talk about blindly following.
Ain't nothing wrong with the Bengals.
Oh, Slim would get up, whoop somebody's
Except
ass over
they
the
haven't
Bengals.
won a game. What in 19 games now or something?
1991. Since them cards were made that I gave you guys earlier.
Since they was in Big Lots.
That's cool, man. Yeah. So promote yourself, man.
All right,
we
man.
know you're a bad mamma jamma. What are you doing?
Man, I've got some things popping off in October. You can stay tuned to my social media accounts at Juicy Jimmy on Facebook and Twitter. Go like my page on Facebook. I have a personal account. Sorry, I don't accept any friends on there, but go like my page and like my shit, share my shit. I appreciate the support, and that's where you can find me. I've got some wrestling dates I'll be announcing here soon.
And you'll get live weekly updates of this shit. We will talk about Jimmy weekly here on From Parts Unknown.
And my
with
travelings and debauchery.
Man, Joe, thank you. You know, we couldn't ask for a better first guest. We don't want this to be the last time. We hope we didn't run you off. You know, the Leonos. You know, we'll get you a cold beer if you need one.
Absolutely.
You know, we'll keep you hydrated. We'll give you T-shirts. The one thing we didn't do is we didn't have Kurt in here. Do you have any last words for our boy from Nexus Lives? Because I think we're going to play the last song is going to be by him. We talked to him earlier. Do you have any last words for Kurt?
Kurt, I found out what city I lived in. It's only a matter of time.
Hey, this is Nexus Lives Relic. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks Jimmy. Thanks Joe. Thanks Slim. Skullface Records Radio from Parts Unknown. See you guys next time.